So this is a video I came across about having difficult conversations, and I thought it was so appropriate given how many difficult conversations happen when you're building a startup. There's challenges every day and everywhere you look. So the ability to challenge people, ask hard questions, push people to be better and improve their skill or be open to new things. These are hard conversations, right? You're coming up to someone and saying, hey, I need more out of you, or have you thought about this? And sometimes that can be, of course, anxiety provoking on both sides. Nobody likes getting feedback or having hard chats, and nobody likes to be the one to bring them up. But if it has to be done, we may as well learn how to do it right.
What tips do you have on leading difficult conversations, such as challenging feedback, and you're trying to find a way to make it positive and constructive?
Let's say you're giving me some feedback and you really want to give me strong feedback, okay? Say you're giving me feedback on the way do you play any sports?
No.
Me neither. Let's go something else. What is your passion? What do you love?
Free diving.
Free diving?
Yeah.
Okay, so say I suck at something with free diving. Give me some negative feedback. Let me see. Random, anything. You can make it up. I wouldn't even know. Give me some random feedback and like, this is really bad and I'm compromising your life here because if I keep doing this thing, you might die. Just give me some feedback. Let me see how you currently do it.
So that right there happens pretty often. Most people just don't say it. One of the pieces of advice I've given some apprentices in the past, and it's still true, do it alone, do it scared. He's not doing it. It's one of those, it's more important to do some tasks are so important that they're worth doing poorly on the path to getting good at them, right? So if you're struggling to give feedback, I'm not saying you just go give all the worst feedback in the world, but not giving any feedback and not beginning the process of improving or having hard conversations, whether it's feedback or otherwise, you got to have a place to start from. And you may be further behind than you want, but you also might be further ahead than you expect. And it could just be some fine tuning. So if you're one to lock up, it's not a bad thing. It's a kind of a step towards growth. And the next step is not locking up and doing it. And the next step after that is learning how to do it well.
If that's how you're currently giving feedback,
could be a problem.
Just JK. Okay, here we go soon.
Hey, Vin.
Hey, Ken.
Could I pull you aside for a quick chat?
Of course. Where do you want to go?
Oh, just over there.
Okay.
I just wanted to talk to you about something that's been a bit on my mind.
Sure.
And I think it's affecting how you come across when you do your diving stuff.
What do you mean? Like, what am I doing?
I don't think you're breathing properly.
What do you mean I'm not breathing properly?
I can see the way you're breathing, and I think if you gave it a different go and tried a little bit of a different approach, you might have much more success with how you're breathing.
Oh, okay. So how should I breathe?
So a big problem I felt there, again, as you're seeing, is a lack of specificity, a lack of direction. And mind you, there's a tone of how you say things, by all means, but a lot of times people, it's like if someone comes up to you and says, oh, you're bad at, math. It's like, no, I think you can add pretty well. It's just you're not that great at calculus, right? And the way that you'd improve in your calculus skill is by improving on these specific things that you seem to be struggling with. And here's, if you improve these things, what it means in the future. Now, mind you, he's the expert here, but I'm curious what he says.
Very good question.
Okay. All right, stop, pause. That was fantastic. I love your approach. First banger thing that he did was not to give me feedback in public. He pulled me to here, right? Because one of the worst things we could ever do is giving feedback to someone in public, in front of their peers especially, because then sometimes their ego could get hit. So amazing effort there on pulling me to the side, even though it was 2 steps. But you pulled me to the side, then had the conversation with me.
The old rule of never do in public what is better handled in private. Feedback, difficult conversations, things where someone could get looked at in a different light and maybe they'd be more receptive to hearing it when they're not going to be judged by the other co-founders, the juniors on their team, whatever it might be.
Give feedback. I use a very simple technique and it's not complicated at all. But because this technique has been talked about to death and it's become a cliche, people don't use it. It's called a sandwich technique. So you've got to compliment me on something I'm doing wrong. Because the moment you pull me aside, I'm immediately heightened. I'm like,
There's the anxiety.
so you've got to compliment me on something. Like I complimented each person who came on stage, made them feel comfortable, and then you get them. But when you get them, you don't switch tonality immediately, right? So you don't go, hey, Ken, you did amazing asking those questions, but you know what you really need to improve, right? So can you see what I mean? And people switch tonalities. Whereas what I think is really important is you must keep that caring tonality moving forward.
This seems like such a small point, but you get upset when someone talks to you in a bad tone. Don't you think your tone matters when you talk to somebody else? Like these little things, I refer to them when I'm talking to my founders as advanced social skills, because there are social skills like saying hey at a party and, basically not being too awkward. But then there's also saying hey at a party and making friends and relating to people and becoming, engaged in it and a part of it. Not necessarily the life of the party, but just not being behind the ball, right? In this way, you're able to kind of go, hey, how would I want to be spoken to? Like if someone was giving me harsh feedback, imagine it was incredibly harsh. What's the nicest way that they could say it that I would still be receptive and the least amount defensive that I could be?
Pull them to the side, something positive. When you shift gears to the critique, keep the positive and nurturing vibe. And then ask permission. Is it okay if I share a few thoughts with you? You frame it, then you...
I very often will ask a version of this where I'll go, can I be honest with you? Like, do I have your permission to be as honest as you'd probably want me to be? This often happens when I'm advising startups. And an example, a CEO is going on about an employee that they want to retain, but they're making a bunch of excuses why this employee, should be kept, even though there's 100 reasons why they should be let go. And these aren't even like debatable reasons. These are just like obvious reasons that 9 out of 10 people in startup land would say, yeah, they got to go. And then the CEO finishes talking and I ask them, again, one version of this, do you mind if I'm completely honest with you? Like, can I be completely honest with you? And then it kind of gives them the ability to kind of brace for it, because sometimes people say stuff that they know they don't believe and they kind of want someone to challenge them on it or engage. And then I hit them with the, hey, I think that's an excuse. I think you're protecting this person and I understand why you're doing it and I understand the human element, but you have to be on the company side and all the other people in the company, not just this one person that lowers the standard or doesn't set the bar high enough or just isn't consistent in their work and does a disservice to everybody else. In this way, it's not that you're anti one person, you're pro everybody else. I think you should really consider that in your work and in this decision. And when you're able to be honest like that, you'd find that even if what you're saying is really harsh, like what I'm saying is we have to let somebody go and you're making excuses why we can't. But I'm also empathizing as a person. I understand why it seems like it appears to me that you're making excuses or you're trying to, protect this person. But maybe I can offer a suggestion, right? We refocus instead of helping this person to supporting these people. And now all of a sudden it becomes a clearer path. So that's kind of a hybrid approach to what he's doing, but the ability to ask before you do something, it actually can be very helpful in certain situations, feedback, hard conversations, etc. I think it's very useful.
You give the thoughts, then you share something positive, and that's how you start. So again, I know nothing about deep diving, but I'm now going to give you feedback. And just play with me here, okay? So, Ken, how you going, brother? Good. Hey, so good to have you. Hey, Ken, do you mind just coming over here with me for a sec? Is that okay? So, come. So, Ken, Ken, just walk normally. Come with me, Ken. Thank you. Perfect. Hey, Ken, could I just quickly say, it's been so amazing having you as a part of the diving team. How do you feel? So far, good? Okay, great. Ken, it's been amazing to see the camaraderie that you have. I love that you're checking everybody's breathing and you're checking how everybody's, are their oxygen tanks full? So good to have you. Could I share with you a few thoughts to help you crush your next dive?
Sure.
Fantastic. Ken, I want to help every single student in this diving team succeed. Ken, what I noticed while...
And notice how he said, can I offer you some thoughts that will help you crush your next dive? It's the, hey, can I help you? Can I give you some thoughts that will help, I think, improve kind of the efficiency of our marketing? Or can I give you some thoughts that I think will improve our experience overall? Or can I run some ideas by you that I think would be helpful? Notice how you're not saying like, hey, I have a list of things that you're messing up on. You're framing it positively. And it's one of those, it doesn't matter how you say it as long as it gets heard and acted on. You may want to go there and say 10 horrible things. Oh, you suck at this and you can't do this and you refuse to do this. Great. If that's what makes you feel good, to say it, by all means, but then don't be surprised when you get an extremely negative reaction in response. Instead, if you approach it from how can I say this, not so I feel good about saying it, but so that they feel good about hearing it, all of a sudden you become a much more empathetic manager. And here's the deal. You can only do half of the equation, which is you can only bring your level of your best effort to engage with this person or engage with this topic as delicately and sensitively as is possible. It's on them to be a willing participant. Some people get offended when you give any little criticism. And guess what? That's probably not a good sign in startup land. But some people are very receptive. Like for me, I'm always welcoming feedback. Harsh, it's like, I value feedback more than I value the tone. So even if you're mean to me, I may not like you because of the way you said it to me, but I'm still going to listen to your advice and be like, damn, that is a good point. I should follow that. It's like, great, not talking to you, but I'm going to use your advice going forward. And guess what? That works for some people, but obviously if you're at a company, it's not like you want to hate your manager, or as a manager, it's not like you want to look down and be like, oh man, all of my juniors seem to like cringe when I walk by because they think I'm just some like harsh jerk. That's not a win either. And that doesn't bode well for team culture, team retention, longevity. Like, we're playing a real game here. All these little things matter because you're having these conversations every day. And there's always challenges and always situations. And if you struggle to navigate, the rapids, you're going to sink, right? No surprises.
You were diving was that I noticed an intricate thing you were doing is that you were shallow breathing. We want to take diaphragmatic breaths, right? So that we don't do a lot of shallow breathing. Otherwise, we can waste a lot of the oxygen, and also it causes us to panic. Does that help? Say yes.
Yes.
Perfect. And hey, can I just say, please keep doing what you're doing, because without someone like yourself, someone might go down without enough oxygen in their tank. You're doing amazing. Hey, boom. So again, can you see this? I know nothing about deep diving, but what I'm...
So in this scenario, I like it, but imagine, just for the sake of ease, because I know there's some people that are a little bit like me, that this isn't their personality to kind of like, hey, like, I'll give you a fist bump, but I'm not going to be like, hey, great for having you. I'm just like, what's up, homie? Like, how's it going? Bam. Like, a bit more casual. But how you do it needs to be honest to you. This guy is a professional, speaking coach, and, he does a bunch of this kind of, public speaking and social engagement type thing. Well, guess what? He's going to come off in that way because he's got a stage presence the whole time, right? So there's a certain degree of, he's like overemphasizing things. So the real way that I've seen this play out is a little bit more muted, a little bit softer, but the main points are still all the same. Saying hey to someone, saying, hey, can we chat for a second? I want to run a few things by you. They sit down, and then you're like, hey, I think we're doing great in these areas. These are good. From my perspective as, CFO or whatever, I'm not comfortable, or I'm not certain what's going on here. Can you give me some color? Can you give me some thoughts? And then it's like, are you having any difficulties? I'll even preempt things and reassure people that it's like, hey, you can be honest with me because I need to know in order for me to help you. And then it builds a us versus the problem. When you make it a, hey, you suck at this, it's like, no, you're on my team and we suck at this, right? If we need to do paid ads and you're not the paid ad person, there's two choices. Either you figure out how to do it because we need it, and if you're doing bad at it, then that's why we're having this conversation. Or B, you go find someone that knows how to do it. And now, instead of me having to manage a problem, you've brought a solution. And as long as you're providing enough value on the other side with all your other work, that your compensation is still good. Again, imagine I hire a CMO, half for paid ads, half for organic. And they go, oh, by the way, I don't know how to do paid ads. Guess what? I don't know how to pay half of your salary. Like, what are we talking about here? But when it comes to having hard conversations, it's a be transparent with me. Let's find a solution together. Hey, I have some ideas. Have you considered, and I want to lean on your opinion because obviously I'm just the finance guy. I'll even downplay myself a bit again, because I just am just the finance guy and I want to lean on their expertise. It's, what do you think on this and this and this? I'm inclined to think this and this, but I want to get your take. Do you have a view that's opposed? Do you have any criticism? Does this seem like a logical next step? What's your opinion? I try to get people to buy in before I just assume that they walk away feeling good, because then it goes from being like a top down, like executive order, like do this, to, hey, we have problem solved. We have come up with a solution, and now you're the one in charge, empowered to go implement it, even if that solution was just getting better.
Saying is, there's a care in my voice. There's a care. Whereas often when people give this feedback, there's no tonality. So what it sounds like is, hey, look, I just want to tell you, right now I'm seeing you not breathe correctly. And if you don't breathe correctly, do you know what's going to happen to you, Ken? Do you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to die. You're going to die, okay? And listen, there are times when Ken needs that. There are times when Ken needs that, but that's not my first approach. My first approach is to encounter that with a lot of love and care. And when I give the feedback, it's done with a tonality that I care about you. And then if you want to go deeper with these difficult conversations, there's a wonderful book called Crucial Conversations that will teach you far more than I can in the 5 minutes we have. Does that help as a starting point? Yep. You did great. Big round of applause for Ken. Yes.
Very, very good. I'm a big fan of the, radical transparency, but also radical humility or empathy, where it's, you want to be as transparent as you possibly can for the sake of, doing justice to the thing you're talking about. But you also want to recognize you're talking to a human that has a name and a birth certificate and, has feelings, and you should deal with them accordingly, just like they're going to deal with you accordingly. So great video. Love it. See you next time.